All right, family. We black again with the general, man. We running tonight, man. We got to talk about some things. We got to talk about, and everything is necessary. Every video is a necessary topic in which we got to discuss some things. The U.S. must escalate targets to backbreaking infrastructure structure. The U.S. must escalate targets to backbreaking infrastructure. You got to go where it hurt. You got to go where it's gonna break their back. You see what I'm saying? And it is what it is. And it's gonna be. They say it's gonna be better for their people over there, so they can get past that wicked ass regime, so they can get some money just like all the other Gulf states and build their shit up and live like they want to live. You see, it's a modern day and age, and motherfuckers want to live like they back in goddamn 700 AD, like when they just come up out the goddamn desert or something on a damn camel. They ain't elevated none. You see, they still want to live like that. So, but the people today is more modernized. They want to live in a world where, where they can go and visit other nations and enjoy the world and shit. But these peoples is, they living in an apocalyptic reality where they want to bring the end of the world. You can't fucking, you got an apocalyptic view. Before we even get started, family, make sure you get over there to Patreon. Click that link at the top of the chat. Get over there. Over 600 exclusive videos from the general. You got to hit shit that's going. That's what I say. Because it's critical that you're going to get this shit over with. We don't say this just to say, oh, hurt to, because people gonna say, oh man, you trying to hurt the civilian. You're not trying to do that. Trying to get it over though, because the longer the regime stay in power, they gonna hurt the people. You see, anytime motherfucker take kids and women and wrap them around a nuclear site, they crazy. They apocalyptic. You got to get a world where you ain't, people's at least, and even though we got histories or where we, but you could come to a point where you can you ain't got to like a motherfucker, but you can act like you got some sense and take your ass on over there to your own land and economically prosper and shit, and people can enjoy the modern world and live in the modern world. You can still have your religion. Nobody's trying to conquer your soil and shit like that. Nobody's trying to do that. Iran is living in an apocalyptic vision of, world conquest and shit like that. And you cannot let no motherfucker like that get no nuclear bomb. You just cannot do that. And so you have to break people's back. I know people's out there. This is hard body for the general. I never ever went down the road with that people would go. I go down the road less traveled. I'm good at that. I ain't got no problem going down the road. I've always been the long ranger. You feel what I'm saying? I've always been that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Especially if you confident in that there's, victory at the end of that road. Go down there. Don't go, because these motherfuckers is losing in droves. And you could be right in that number. You can lose in droves. You see, and so we had to understand this. You had to hit. And the thing is, you apply this philosophically to life. You know what I'm saying? You get in that key backbreaking infrastructure that's gonna cripple, and take a motherfucker out the game. If they need to be out the game, take them out the game. And that's what it is. And this is not to be no devious motherfucker. If you got somebody plotting on you, this is for somebody that's plotting on you and, trying to take you out, trying to take you down, then you have to do what's necessary to bring it to an end. You understand? I'm not telling you to do now. I'm talking about philosophically in whatever way that you got to. I ain't trying to tell you not to. You understand what I'm saying? And because at the end of the day, we got to be here. We got to survive. And that requires us to be victorious in anybody that's trying to stop us from doing that. In any which way, we have to do that. And so, that's why, when Donald Trump mentioned them damn power plants, them motherfuckers got real nervous because they know what that means. You see, they know what that means. That's key infrastructure. You see, United Blockade. Imagine, man, and you don't want to, because listen, you see one of them motherfuckers back there. If they knock all them motherfuckers out in Iran, man, listen, it'll be damn near 2,000 years before they ever get back to where they were. They would have to have every nation on earth, man, build something, man, come in there and just give free service to build up that kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? And if people want to do that, go right on motherfucking head. You understand? Go right on head. But if they knock some of that shit down, man, the soil going, man, listen here. You don't want to see, because this is Mother Earth. I don't wish nothing like that. This is Mother Earth. You don't want to bring no type of damage to Mother Earth, because this is a blessing from creation. And so you have to always have that, in spirit first and foremost. But when you got a pestilence on the planet that just don't care about none of that, then you have to do what you have to do. You don't want to do it, but it might be a key factor to bring this pestilence to its goddamn knees, and so that you can clean it up off the planet. And so, I think the blockade that's one of the key that's key in the infrastructure. Putting the blockade there. And so the threat of also hitting them plants, hitting them bridges, knocking out that electricity, all of that. It's a war. Okay, motherfucker, don't go in there and thank you and praise the Lord and bring baked goods and shit. And we ain't here to serve baked goods and shit. That's what war is, man. And that's why we hate to see it happen. But if you get it over with, get this shit over with. You understand what I'm saying? Get this shit over with. We in the house. Yeah, they is living like they in 700 AD. They do. Motherfucker don't want a motherfucker even, they still over there with Sharia, and women can't even motherfucker, and when they have Sharia, motherfucker, the women can't even, some of them, you cover the face. Some of them, they want to be brutal, you cover the face. And some of them, motherfucker, you can't even get two eyes out. Motherfucker, woman only, you get one eye to look. We catch you with two eyes, we whoop you. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the gloves on, You ain't supposed to be touching no man hand or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't supposed to be touching yours. And so you just wrapped up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motherfucker on the damn Addams family. You just wrapped up and shit and all of that. That's Sharia law. And so they could be real brutal with that shit. Everybody don't enforce it because really it's not even in the Quran. It's not even really, a lot of what they talking about ain't even in the Quran. That's some old Arab traditions that they carry on. And then people say, oh, well, the Persians are not Arab. They act like it. I mean, what the fuck? All they called the Sharia? That's Arab shit. What the hell is y'all talking about? Everything they do, the Arab do, they do. So what difference is it? You know what I'm saying? They act just like them. And sometimes even more brutal, and both of them brutal, Sunni and Shia. Them Wahhabi motherfuckers is crazy as hell in Sunni Islam. You see? And so the thing is, you got to escalate. And people's, a lot of these news agencies over in the United States, man, they must be owned by an outside entity. Man, a lot of these motherfucking news agencies, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Russia or China or some other foreign entity on some of these, because the shit that they say, man, they promote newscasts of gloom and the United States falling, this Chicken Little, the skies falling all the goddamn time. I say, why are they serving this shit to the people like that? Even when it's really not happening. You don't see no other news around the world where they project they people to be losing and shit and this, that, and the third. And I'm not about lying it's not about lying to the people. It's how you, project the information. You tell the truth, but you ain't got to be, oh, you're losing. You're going, this United States is falling. This is the lowest. It's a goddamn lie. That's a goddamn lie. Don't sit up there and just so you can get votes and you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck you doing. So this is a very destructive new, today when I grew up, motherfuckers they tell the truth. And I ain't saying it like that. I mean, they just, I mean, when I say tell the truth, even if they don't like your ass, they let you know, motherfucker, straight up. We don't like you. It ain't about, it ain't about, trying to and have all of this. They just, I don't like you, and so most of the information that was coming out, it was pretty, it could be accurate, it could be accurate, but a lot of this is perpetrated as information that's projected to destroy your vision of reality. And so you got to be careful of all this shit about here. War is based on deception. And knowing that, you're supposed to always be for your own team. You see what I'm saying? You supposed to always be. These motherfuckers over here act like they ain't even for the US. They don't even act like these news agencies don't even act like they for the US. They act like they for the motherfucker over here. And a lot of motherfuckers that come in, they either Muslim or whatever they from some other country that got beat up and they mad and they got a grudge, and that's okay. But we understand the frequency that you're putting off, that you're a loser. And somehow you didn't get your ass kicked one way or another. Don't get mad, motherfucker. Build your country up, build your army up, and next time maybe you won't get your ass kicked. But if you keep getting your ass kicked, man up. Quit doing the female shit by coming into the comments and doing. And that's why I tell my own brother, man up, man the fuck up, man the fuck up, man. Where we at? Say the Arabs at the corner store fuck with. Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah, you know that. Say catch you with 2 eyes. They will. Yeah, bitch, you better have 1 eye out. If I catch you with 2 eyes out, bitch, I'm liable to chop your head off. Yeah. They all fucked up. But family, we're gonna keep moving, man. I want to touch on everything that I got out here. These is key elements separated. I don't want to put it all on and force it all on one video. Let's keep moving. Get over there to Patreon, man. We doing it live tonight, family. We're gonna keep it moving. And I'm gonna interact with the chat more so because we going into the last videos. I see y'all in a minute. Boom. Black Power.